Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to walk you through a process that I have used in the past to change my beliefs. And yeah, why it's important to change your beliefs is because your results are created by your beliefs indirectly. So I'm going to basically draw this out in a diagram so you can start seeing the flow and rhythm of things. Beliefs. What are beliefs? Beliefs are abstractions. Beliefs are shortcuts in thinking. They are shortcuts in thinking from your thoughts. What are thoughts? I don't know. I don't possibly would know. But I do know that your thoughts create your decisions and, in fact, your actions. And I do also know that your actions massively influence your results. Not fully responsible, but very much responsible. In your control. So changing your beliefs is important because it's required to change your actions and change your reality. The process I have learned to change your beliefs is simple. But it does require self-awareness and introspection. So how you want to approach this is first get a piece of paper or a pen or a document in Google Docs or Word. I personally use Google Docs for this. So open up a Google Doc, an empty one, and write down a couple of these points, these stripes. Then within these stripes, write your thoughts about something. So if you want to change your beliefs in the domain of work and entrepreneurship, you write down work and entrepreneurship, and you start just writing down your thoughts, like what comes to mind when I talk about work and entrepreneurship. Maybe entrepreneurship is hard. Maybe entrepreneurship is not for me. Maybe something like working maybe something like you need to work hard to succeed. Maybe something like like there's so much there's so much competition out there. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like like making money is hard. Maybe these are the thoughts you have. And then the beliefs you have manifest from these thoughts. But the thing is, you cannot really know your beliefs without looking at your thoughts. So it's very, very subtle, but you have to actually analyze your thoughts to see what you believe, which is really cool. So yeah, like entrepreneurship is hard, entrepreneurship is not for me, you need to work hard to succeed, so much competition out there, making money is hard. Maybe you have more beliefs like e-commerce is the best business model. Maybe you believe like personal branding is the best, or this is actually not gonna work if you believe two different things. But maybe something else like I don't know, outreach doesn't work anymore, or like I've tried outreach but it doesn't work. Maybe you believe these things, and then you can start to analyze your thoughts and look like, hey, I believe this, I believe this, what belief, or I think this, what belief might be underneath these two things that are creating my actions, that are deciding my actions. So for example, entrepreneurship is hard, entrepreneurship is not for me, you need to work hard to succeed. Maybe there's a belief somewhere below this, like, I don't know, only only very, very, very disciplined people can be entrepreneurs. Or maybe like entrepreneurship is a difficult field. That might be something you believe. Or in relation to money or business models, like there is a thing such as business models. Thing such as business models. Because obviously, if you believe something is the best business model, you have to believe there is a thing such as business models. Another thing, like outreach doesn't work anymore. I've tried outreach, but it doesn't work. Maybe there's a belief underneath this that's like outreach is hard. Maybe that's a belief that you have underneath. So you have to analyze your thoughts and look at the pattern. So I'm actually going to draft up another example in this drive. I should have it here somewhere. No, I don't have it in this one. No. I'm going to grab an example from my own experience that is from the process I've used. So I'm really quickly going to grab that. So the example I have for you today is this. I wrote down a couple of points about service delivery, which is really just the actual thing you're doing for other people and other businesses. And I wrote down my thoughts. So what comes to mind when you think about service delivery? And I wrote down hard, time consuming, requires a lot of skill, difficult in med bunnies, because I wasn't a med bunnies at the time, hard to get people to schedule appointments, scary for the deliver, tricky, difficult to systemize, etc., etc., etc. And then based on these thoughts, you can start to group them and look at what I believe about service delivery based on these things. So yeah, because I believe it's hard, time consuming, inconsistent, unpredictable, there is some negative beliefs and thoughts around this. So it's not just about specifically figuring out what exact belief is there, but it's also about figuring out if it's positive, negative, how negative. In this case, negative. So something about like service delivery is hard or service delivery is difficult. That might be a belief that's underneath this. And I'm now going to show you some of the identity-based belief truths, because beneath the beliefs you have is a belief of identity. That's really at the root of everything. So if you believe that service delivery is hard, at some level you probably believe that you don't have what it takes to make service delivery easy. Now let that sink in. Because if you believe that you could do it and you could easily pick it up, learn it, develop the skills, then positive beliefs are manifesting from that. So you see how basically that the identity is at the root of these things. So the fastest way to change your beliefs in any domain is by changing your identity or your identity-based beliefs. And yeah, that's really just what's at the root. So figuring that out is really an exciting process because it raises your self-awareness massively. So for example, my service delivery is really slow at the moment. That's what I believed when I did service delivery. Or my service delivery is unorganized, is something you might believe. Or I think service delivery is quite a lot to handle, is something you might believe. Or I feel balancing service delivery and outreach is difficult, and therefore I might not spend as much time on service delivery, which it needs to evolve. Or somewhat out of control, the biggest bottleneck right now, maybe the biggest bottleneck right now, is something you might believe. Or I take too long to get clients good results, might be another thing you believe. And if you believe this about yourself, that you take too long to get clients good results, then the thoughts you are having are going to manifest from this belief, which is like thoughts in alignment with this. So you're never going to be fast delivering results because you believe that you take long. So really, if you believed that you delivered results quickly, you would get thoughts that would allow you to create a reality where you do deliver results quickly. You see what I mean? So yeah, that's really just the beauty of analyzing your belief systems, which is a lot of fun to do. So that's a process I personally have used. Writing out the thoughts, looking at the thoughts like, hey, what pattern might be underneath here? Is it like negative? Is it positive? What can I group together? Something like making money is hard could be a belief. Entrepreneurship is hard might be a belief. I don't have what it takes might be a belief. Yeah, these are just the things that are in place. And then from this, you can start changing it. So if you don't like what you see here, well, really, if you don't like what you see here in your reality, then what you have to do is look at your beliefs. And if you don't like what you see here, it's probably the reason, one of the big reasons why you don't like what you see here. So changing that should be your next goal. And how do you change that? Well, instead of making money is hard, just write down as a first step, making money is easy. Write down as a first step, entrepreneurship is easy. Write down as a first step, I do have what it takes. You see? And then you have to start changing these beliefs. That's a topic for another video. But today I just wanted to tell you about a process to identify your beliefs, your limiting beliefs, and changing that is a different equation, but that's how you, that's how you identify what is currently blocking you on your way to your goal. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope it made sense. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and looking forward to seeing you in the next video.